What is up, Strong Business, Stronger Marriage? We are coming to you today with a new show, a new thing that we're gonna implement every week or most every week. Fuel Your Marriage Fridays, and what we're gonna do on Fuel Your Marriage Fridays is we are gonna give you some tips or pointers, some things that you might need to recognize that could potentially have a negative impact on your relationship, or things that will give you the juice that you need to spend some quality time and make some incredible memories over the weekend, to be the fuel that really sets your family, your marriage, your relationships at home for amazing weekend that is not spent apart or spent in the same room on your devices that are not building connection, that are not building memories that are important, that are not in alignment with our time acronym: together, intentional, meaningful, every day. And so, Fuel Your Marriage Fridays, we're going to share these tips with you, some dangerous things to look out for, or problems or things that you may experience that you may not be unaware. Today, we're going to share with you 3 dangerous trends that all entrepreneurs need to be aware of, so they can prevent these negative trends from creeping into the home, into the marriage, and having a negative impact. And so today, the trends that we are going to share with you are
So first of all, we're going to share just kidding. One of the most dangerous trends that we see as a couple when we coach couples is that they're shutting out their spouse. And they don't intentionally do this. Let's be real. We don't intentionally shut out our spouse. But when we have a business, we're super excited and we're thrilled to share things with our spouse. But sometimes when we're having a hard time, when that imposter syndrome comes in, when we feel like the day didn't go well, we don't share that with our spouse because we don't want to be negative. But the problem is that typically, and this is what we get over and over and over from the non-entrepreneur spouse, is that they want to know when things are a little bit challenging. They want to know how they can support you because a lot of the times they feel shut out of the business. And so one of the biggest things that we can do as a couple is to not shut your spouse out. When things are hard, when you feel a little bit of imposter syndrome, when you feel like you're being stretched to the limit, share that with your spouse. You don't have to share like, oh my gosh, I feel like the business is going under, blah, blah, blah. You don't have to share like a big bomb on them, but just share what's uncomfortable for you. And the way that you can do that, we talk about the struggle bus all the time, so we won't talk about the struggle bus today, but the way that you can do that is even just sending your text to spouse like, hey, I just need some encouraging words today. I just need a little bit more support today. Things have been a little bit hard for me. I can't get my name in the game. Like, I can't think today. Can you just send me some extra love today?
well, let me give you a real life example of that. And so it goes both ways. In a 2 entrepreneur home where you and your spouse work together in the same business, or if you and your spouse have separate businesses, that's a scenario, an environment that this can really become problematic, or a 1 entrepreneur home. And so let me give you an example. Welcome those that are joining us live. Put some love in the comments, and first of all, approve StreamYard to give permission so I can see all you lovely Facebook users in the chat and give you a personal shout out, because we appreciate your support and we appreciate you being here with us today. So approve in StreamYard so we can see the Facebook users and really dive into welcoming, giving you a shout out. But what I was saying is that an example in a 2 entrepreneur home, Jojo and I work together in the business. So an example of me shutting Jojo out would look like she still works part-time at the hospital and she's in grad school. And so there's times where there might be a day or 2 or a little bit of time where she is tied up with being a mom. Not tied up, but enjoying the blessings of
being yelled at as mom, right?
Being a mom. But when I say tied up, we have the same 168 hours in a week. We have the same 24 hours in a day. Every one of us do. And we have different demands on our time. And so when I say tied up, she's using her time to build those memories with our family, which doesn't sometimes leave a lot of space for other things when she's done with her homework and things like that. And so being in grad school, it has brought a new dynamic into the business and things that will have to shift. And so if there's a day where Jojo is doing her schoolwork or studying for a test or is outside of the home with her field work, whatever it is, a way that I can unintentionally shut her out is just I could do several things in the business. I could host some podcasts, I could get on some calls and things like that. And so if I don't share with JoJo how the day was, what kind of conversations I had, if I was on calls, how did the calls go, how was the podcast that I hosted, all these things, she shuts out because now she's not aware of what's happening in the business. So now the next day or the next 2 days or whenever she really gets back into the business, she may not be clear what tasks she should focus on or what she should do next because she's not aware of what I was doing. Yes, she has her list, her superpowers, the things that she does well. But if I don't communicate in a way that this is what happened today, these are some of the connections we made, these are some of the experience I had, these are conversations I had, these are people that came into our group, or these are the people that invited us to go on this thing or that thing, or whatever connections we had, whatever the day looked like. If I don't share that with JoJo, she'll never know. She'll ask, how was the day? And my answer might be good. But I should go deeper than that. I should tell her, oh, I had this amazing call. I built such a great connection. Super Tim was amazing. It was incredible to talk with him. And I would share with her the things that went well or the challenges. Sharing the challenges is an incredible way to help her not feel shut out. And not only just sharing the shutting our spouse out, but sharing the wins. And that's the second tip that we want to go on today, is that entrepreneurs don't celebrate their wins with their spouse. They celebrate it with their internal team in the business. They celebrate it with other entrepreneurs. They celebrate it with mastermind groups, or
they share it in groups,
Facebook groups, or wherever it is. But they forget to celebrate their wins with their team at home. That's the first team you should build, and that's the team that should provide most comfort, most support, and should have the knowledge and understanding of what's going on, what the wins are. And because I don't know about you, but my kids really love when I tell them about something amazing happened in the business, and they're proud of me. They want to be involved, and it's so incredible to have my family support because they know what is happening.
Yeah, I was going to share that too. I was going to say that when we celebrate our wins with our kids, it helps the whole family know what, for one, they don't have to know what exactly is going on in the business. They don't have to know like what couples need help or what they need, but they're able to celebrate like we're making a difference. There's an impact happening, and that our family can celebrate when another entrepreneur, our kids, our 8-year-old especially, he is very in tune to a lot of our friends, our entrepreneur friends. And so when someone is succeeding, he asks us, hey, how's this person doing? And he'll ask, like, what are their wins? When we share like things that other people have done, it's great. And he's included. But how amazing is it when we share things that we've done as a family? Because it helps them see, yeah, we're doing stuff and we're making an impact.
And when we're not sharing our wins with our spouse, with our children, it makes it very challenging to continue to support us at a high level.
Yeah.
Because they don't see outside of maybe the finances that are coming in. They may not know the impact that we're having, but they also don't see the results. They don't see the fruit of this hard labor. And so when we're working late nights or we're frequently on calls, we're doing a lot in the business, it's hard for them to really like get a pace of where the business is and get a hope that, yes, this is worth it because daddy, mommy is having a huge impact. We're changing lives. We're solving problems. We're making people's lives better. We don't see that when we don't celebrate our wins with our loved one. And so they really start to question, or potentially could question, is this grind really worth it? Is it really worth it that my spouse is out of the home, or my spouse is always on these calls? But once we share our wins with our spouse, then it gives
they can see the mile marks.
The mile marks. It gives them more fuel to want to support us. It gives them an opportunity to root us on and to be involved in the business, because what happens next, the third dangerous trend that we want to talk about is
this one is deadly.
The business taking over.
Yes.
And unintentionally, when this happens, our family becomes second place. We've talked to countless entrepreneurs that said, oh, my spouse just doesn't support me and they don't know what's going on. And I feel like that's what's missing in my business, in my home, that's missing. But as we dive down into it, they've been on calls, they've got up early and started the day.
Their brain doesn't shut off.
The non-entrepreneur spouse gets all the kids ready for school and sends them off to school and does the homeschool. They prepare the meals. You, as an entrepreneur, you have calls late, coaching groups and everything that may potentially disrupt or minimize the time you have with your family and things like that. And so it's everything we do starts to consume, because like Alex Sharfin says, we as an entrepreneur, we have the hunter mentality that it's just, we want more and more, and our brain never shuts off. And so I really like that analogy that Alex Sharfin uses, like just a hunter. When you're on the hunt, it's so exciting. And then when you make the kill, it's like, okay, on to the next thing. The excitement is over, and you're not satisfied with the kill. You're not excited with the end result. And so it's really a good image when Alex talks about a hunter mentality. You're always like seeking what's next. We want more and more and more. And the wanting the more and more and more, the inability to shut off our entrepreneur brain, our creativeness at times really can bleed into our family. It can really bleed into taking so much time that we really just aren't giving the appropriate attention to our family, and they feel lack of support. They feel like they are second place. They feel like they're not worth it to you because all your time and attention is put into the business. And so in the business, there's seasons. There's times where you might have to grind and work late, but also if we do have to work late, then maybe there's another opportunity later in the week that we can have a short day so we can spend it with our family. And so with our business having seasons, just like on the calendar, it's very clear when a new season starts and like that. And so we can have that same thing too. If we're fresh in our entrepreneur, or we're in a launch, or we're creating a new product, or we're expanding, whatever the circumstance is. Excuse me, I gotta sneeze. That's about to come. But
he's sneezing.
So when we have these things that may take more time, or we really have to be on a lot of calls, we're working on setting up JV partners or other connections. There's times in our business where we really have to go hard, and we really have to deliver at a high level. And the only way to deliver at a high level is with time and attention. So we need to find a way as an entrepreneur to be more efficient with the time that we do have, the time that we are spending in the business. And one way that you can do more in less time as an entrepreneur is have clarity, to minimize the distractions, to limit the stress. And we can limit the stress by making sure our relationships are at high quality and very fulfilling and very great at home by setting boundaries. One of the ways that we can prevent our family from becoming second place and really going hard in the business and our family feeling neglected is set a hard stop. Okay, I will work at this time. When the clock hits 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, whatever it is, business is over. I'm going to have family time. I'm going to share dinner together. I'm going to prepare the meals. When the kids go to bed, then I may work more. And so that hard boundary from 5 to 8, zero business, 100% family time. Or
no taking calls, no checking Messenger, no checking Voxer, none of that. Just straight up family. Or intentional.
I'll start at 9 o'clock. I'll start my day at 9 o'clock after I've had breakfast and got the kids to school. Or I will work super early and super late so I can have the middle of the day to be at football, at the kids' play, to watch them recite their poem in the classroom. Whatever it is, whatever the needs of your family, set boundaries. And so we don't have scope creep where we're business and that creeps into our family time, or our family time is disrupted because we got a call or we got a message. Or most things in your business can wait. They can wait till tomorrow. They can wait an hour. They can wait 2 hours until it's an appropriate time that's not disrupting the family, or it's not disrupting your ability to show up in the home. And so just a recap of 3 dangerous things that entrepreneurs experience at a high frequency that they don't see coming is they unintentionally shut their spouse off. They unintentionally make their family second place, or second priority because the business is getting the majority of the attention, is getting the majority of the time when you're your best version of yourself, when you're creative, when you're in your power zone, when you got that just time, and your family's getting the leftovers because you're exhausted, you're worn out, you're home but not present because you're thinking about the business or those kind of things. So that's dangerous trap number 2, is just letting the business consume everything and your family becoming second place. And then
number 3 is don't celebrate your wins. So a lot of spouses are not celebrating their wins together. In the business, at home, they're not celebrating what has happened and what has made the little milestones. Doesn't have to be big milestones. It can be the little milestones of, hey, I got this set up, or hey, I was proud of myself today because of this. Like we went into marriage expecting to have it just amazing. So let's just keep it amazing, right? There's so many couples in this group that have a wonderful marriage. And then sometimes the business creeps in and they start to fight a little. So if you have let the business take over a little, step back, take those boundaries. Use these 3 principles that most entrepreneurs don't see coming until it's too late. So stop those now. Set up your boundaries now.
And if you've experienced any of these dangerous trends, then let's make an adjustment and let's kick those trends out of our current practice, out of our business, out of our home, out of our marriage. Because what do you do as an entrepreneur? You solve problems.
Yeah.
This is a problem that can have a significant impact, a negative impact on your relationships at home. And when things are not going well at home, they're very challenging to go well in the business because you just don't show up in a way that is the best version of yourself. And we always can do more and be more and become better. But as an entrepreneur, it's about becoming. It's about doing more. It's about learning. It's about growing. And when we have these dangerous things or these thorns in our side that are really complicating or causing conflict in the home, then that results in showing up in the business as well. So if any of these 3 dangerous trends have crept into your home, into your business, into your relationships, please
let's trap them.
Yeah, let's get rid of them. Let's eliminate them. If they're present, they might be hard. And the reason they're dangerous, they're so simple, but the reason that they're so dangerous is, well, let's go with letting the business take over our time. It creeps up on us so much, like, oh, just one more call and it's late, and now before I know it, I've that one more call turned into 3 hours and have really encroached upon my family time, and it's a slow progression. These are a slow progression. If I'm in a season of a launch, I go hard in the launch, and then I need a break. I need some time to rejuvenate, but we rejuvenate by ourselves and not with our family or strengthening those relationships. So they creep in very slowly. Sometimes they creep in very rapidly, but if you're aware of these things, that they're going to come in a season of grind, in a season of working hard, they're going to come. So make sure you celebrate your wins in the home, celebrate your wins with everyone in your life, but with your loved ones first. Well, I can't say that with your loved ones first because I love the people that I serve. I love the people that I get to interact with at church and the community. I just have a heart full of love. And so your loved ones, those in your home, celebrate those wins there in your home with your most intimate relationships, the people that are closest to you in your circle. And as you start to recognize that, make sure that you're doing things to keep your family as a top priority. Make sure you're doing things to celebrate wins together. One way that you can celebrate wins in the business, Sean Malone talks about this a lot. When you have a goal or a target or something that's exciting that you're working for in the business and you hit it, have a pretty consistent
little
reward.
Celebration.
If it's a pizza night for meeting your goals of the week, then
Dance
have
party.
a pizza night. Or
So we
if
do.
you get to buy yourself something that's inexpensive or whatever's motivating for you, whatever's exciting, allow that to be a thing. Allow that to be something your spouse, your children think about so they celebrate with you.
So last thing is we just want to, for Fuel Your Fridays, I think every Friday we can give away one free hour of talking. So this means talking through any challenges that you have with your spouse, whether you have an amazing marriage or whether you have a hard time in your marriage. We'll give away 1 free hour every Friday to someone that messages us that they need that hour to talk about what their concerns are. It doesn't have to be that Friday. It can just be where they schedule it, but we'll give away a Fuel Your Marriage Friday call. So if you would like that, message us, let us know. And if you watched us on the replay, hit replay. If you watched it live, hit live. And we will see you all next week.
Friday. Fuel Your Friday is coming.
And don't forget to date your spouse.
Enjoy the weekend. Really spend some time together with your family, doing things that are together, that are intentional, that are meaningful, and every day, even if it's just a few moments at a time. Your children will remember the effort that you make as an entrepreneur, and they will know when you're being present. They will know when you're intentional in making sure that they are the top priority. So until next time, next Friday, we'll be back with Fuel Your Marriage Friday. And on Monday, I'll be back with Men Chat Monday and talk to the men, the husbands, to really show up as a better version of yourself for your children and for your spouse. When Jojo will talk to the women on Wednesday. If you have any other thoughts, needs, concerns, put it in the comments and we'll provide the necessary means to take care of that, or provide the solution or the value that you need to push forward in your business. But you can have it all: a thriving marriage and a thriving business. Enjoy the weekend. Do something that is together with your family, that's memorable, that they want to talk about in next week, next month, next year. Do something that is memorable and that they love. We love you, Marriage Ascenders, and can't wait to chat to you next time.
Bye, guys.